We're T-minus 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5. We have to go from ready to start. 2, 1.
Transportation system analysis and transportation planning. Transportation is an act, process, or instance of transporting or being transported. It is basically the movement of people and goods and over time, space.
Booster ignition and liftoff of Shuttle Endeavour with NASA's final space station crew compartment that brings a bay window view to our celestial backyard.
Transportation is important. According to a study, transportation is one of the biggest expenses faced by an average household in many countries. Philippines alone spend about half of their household income on utilities, transportation, and food. Rising oil prices, increase of transport fare, and the amount of productive time wasted due to heavy traffic are indicators of how transportation affects our daily life. The transportation evolution. So how do we come up with our present form of mobility? Let's take a look from where it all began. Going back to the beginning of human civilization, evidence shows that the first sign of migration happened from Africa about 700,000 years ago, until the emergence of first migration to the sea of Australasia people. To first migration to the Americas, animal-powered transport, wheeled transport, long-distance navigation in Polynesia, roads and canals, improvements of shipbuilding and navigation, railways and steamships, internal combustion engines, air travel, and now, where we are almost excited about, the space travel. So the development of human civilization has been characterized by constant migration of population, meaning development of human civilization is relative to the development of transportation system. As the society progresses over time, so as the transportation system must also develop. So what is transportation system?
Minsan sa may kalayaan tayo'y nagkatagpuan. May mga sariling gimmick at kanya-kanyang hangad sa buhay.
Transportation system can be defined as the combination of elements and their interactions, which produce the demand for travel within a given area and the supply of transportation services to satisfy this demand. It's like when there's a demand to transport something that has to limit time travel and accommodate a number of people, we'll try to solve this by giving a type of transportation system that fits to that needs. The discipline that allows this to happen is called transportation system analysis. Transportation system analysis is a multidisciplinary field which draws on engineering, economics, operations research, political science, psychology, management, and other disciplines. These are the areas of studies that needs to be considered before planning and establishment of transportation system. The study of transportation system analysis can be best described in 7 separate entities, or what we may call it, the 7 stopovers. Transportation system analysis diverse characteristics, transportation system analysis study context, background of a changing world, role of transportation engineer, basic premise of transportation system, major disciplines of transportation, and other important disciplines. Stopover number 1. Diverse characteristic. When transportation planners analyze the best possible transport system, these are the diverse characteristics that has to be considered. Multimodal. Transportation must cover all modes of transport, air, sea, and land, and both for passenger and freight. Multi-sector, encompassing the problems and viewpoints of government, private industry, and public that are concerned. Multi-problem, problems ranging across the issues in national and international policy, planning of regional system, location and design of facilities, service to users, institutional and economic policies, and many more. Multi-objective. The objectives of transportation system must satisfy the national and regional development, urban development, environment quality, and social quality, as well as service to users and financial and economic feasibility. Multidisciplinary, drawing on the theories and methods of engineering, economics, operations research, political science, psychology, other natural and social sciences, management, and law. Stopover number 2, transportation system analysis is study context. The context of study to which transportation system is used is divided in 4 parts. First, planning range. Planning may reach 5 to 25 years for long-range plans in multimodal systems, while less than 5 years for short-range programs. Passenger transport, the mode of transportation for transporting regional and intercity passengers by air, rail, and highway, and others. Freight transport, routing and management for delivering goods and the choice of different modes to facilitate it. 4. International transport, issues such as containerization and intermodal coordination among nations. Stopover number 3, background of a changing world. There are 4 critical dimensions of change that forces the transportation system to develop. First change is change in demand. Population, income, and land use pattern changes over time. This requires transportation system to develop as well. Changes in technology. New systems like LRT, MRTs, and other offers a variety of alternatives. Change in operational policy. There are varieties of policy options designed to improve the efficiency, such as incentive for carpooling, bus fare, road tolls, and other local policies. Change in values of the public. People change. Not one system can be beneficial to all at all times. Instead, one must identify the target groups like rich, poor, young, work trip, leisure, etc. Stopover number 4, the role of transportation engineer. In spite of the diversity of problem types, institutional context, and technical perspectives, there is one thing that tries to answer them all. What body of theory and set of basic principles to be utilized in analyzing transportation systems? And that is what we call the transportation system analysis approach. That is the role of transportation engineers. The analysts or transportation engineers must have a substantial understanding of the transportation systems and their interactions with activity systems. Stopover number 5, basic premise of transportation system. The first step in formulating a system analysis of transportation system is to examine the scope of analytical work. This is how we should treat them. Premise number 1. The total transportation system must be viewed as a single multimodal system. Premise number 2. Consideration of transportation system cannot be separated from the considerations of social, economic, and political system of the region. After setting the premises, it follows the steps for the analysis of transportation system. Step number 1. Consider all modes of transportation: rail, road, buses, private automobiles, trucks, new modes like LRT, MRTs, etc. Step number 2. Consider all elements of transportation like persons, goods, carriers, paths in the network facilities in which vehicles are going, the terminal, direct and indirect links, vehicles that can operate, terminals, transfer points, intracity transits like taxis, autos, urban transit. Step number 3. Consider all movements of passengers and goods for every origin-destination pair of passenger and goods. Step number 4. Consider the total trip for every flows for every origin and destination over all modes and facilities. Service provided for access, egress, transfer points, and the mid-block travel, etc. Stopover number 6. Major disciplines of transportation. Transportation engineering can be broadly consisting of major parts. First, transportation planning deals with the development of a comprehensive set of action plan for the design, construction, and operation of transportation facilities. Geometric design deals with the physical proportioning of other transportation facilities in contrast with the structural design of the facilities. Pavement analysis and design deals with the structural design of roads, both bituminous and concrete, commonly known as flexible pavements and rigid pavements, respectively. Traffic engineering covers a broad range of engineering applications with a focus on the safety of the public, the efficient use of transportation resources, and the mobility of people and goods. Stopover number 7. Other important disciplines. In addition to the four major disciplines of transportation, there are several other important disciplines that are being evolved in the past few decades. Public transportation or mass transportation deals with the study of the transportation system that meets the travel need of several people by sharing a vehicle. Financial and economic analysis. Transportation facilities require large capital investments. Therefore, it is imperative that whoever invests money should get the returns. When government invests in transportation, its objective is not often monetary returns, but social benefits. Environmental impact assessment. The depletion of fossil fuels and the degradation of environment has been a severe concern of the planners in the past few decades. Transportation, in spite of its benefit to the society, is a major contributor to the above concern. Accident analysis and reduction. One of the silent killers of humanity is transportation. Several statistics evaluates that more people are killed due to transportation than great wars and natural disasters. Intelligent transportation system offers better mobility, efficiency, and safety with the help of the state-of-the-art technology. Let's now come on to the transportation planning. Transportation planning is the study of the relationship of land use to travel patterns and travel demand. It involves the planning, evaluation, and programming of transportation facilities, including roadways, transit terminals, parking, pedestrian facilities, bikeways, and goods movement. We facilitate transport planning formulation by following this process: problem definition, definition of goals, objectives and criteria, data collection, forecasting, development of alternatives, evaluation, implementation plan. Usually, time frame for planning may take a long time depending on its scale. Short term is just an improvement or optimization of current operations and existing infrastructure and resources, implemented within 2 to 3 years. Medium term involves significant investments, usually involving major improvements and capacity increases of the current infrastructure, within 3 to 7 years. Long term includes plans for new and large-scale transport infrastructure, involves strategic policy, analysis, and planning to address issues or exploit opportunities which are long-term. There are levels of geographic scale in terms of transportation planning. National planning, infrastructure provision for regional economic exchange, person trips for business, social, and recreational purposes. Regional planning, interurban and urban-rural movements of persons and goods, longer but less frequent trips compared to urban level. Urban level, daily commuting trips of individual and vehicle carrying goods.
Ground control to Major Tom. Ground control to Major Tom. Take your protein pills and put your helmet on. Ground control to Major Tom. 8, 7, 6. Commencing countdown, engines on. 3, 2. Check ignition and may God's love.